While the rest of the world was chilling champagne and preparing for the countdown to 2026, 18-year-old Christian Sturdivant was looking at the clock for a very different reason. In the quiet suburb of Mint Hill, North Carolina, the festive spirit was merely a tactical advantage. Sturdivant wasn't looking for a party, but a crowd. He had spent nearly a year planning a New Year's Eve bloodbath at a local grocery store and the Burger King where he worked, intending to use hammers and butcher knives to carry out his jihad. As he finalized his plans, he believed he was communicating with high-level ISIS operatives, but in reality, he was talking to undercover agents from the NYPD and the FBI who were documenting every step of his descent. This darkness didn't emerge overnight. The FBI's file on Sturdivant actually began in January 2022, when he was only 14 years old. At that time, an unidentified ISIS member in Europe instructed the boy via social media to dress in all black, knock on a neighbor's door, and kill them with a hammer. Sturdivant followed the directions, but as he left his house armed and dressed for murder, his grandfather, a Christian minister, physically restrained him and brought him back inside. Although he was referred for psychological care and the FBI was told he no longer had social media access, the radicalization continued in the shadows of his suburban life. By December 2025, investigators discovered Sturdivant was back online, operating a TikTok account filled with ISIS propaganda. He posted images of Jesus figurines with captions calling for the curse of cross worshippers, a sentiment consistent with ISIS rhetoric targeting Christians, Jews, and LGBTQ individuals. He sent undercover agents photos of his kit, 2 hammers and a butcher knife, and even attempted to coordinate the purchase of firearms from a fake contact in Atlanta. His commitment was so absolute that he recorded a voice note pledging bayat, a formal oath of loyalty to the leader of ISIS. Inside the family home, a desperate struggle was taking place as Sturdivant's grandfather realized the darkness was returning. The minister began a frantic game of security, locking away the home's tools and knives to prevent his grandson from accessing them. The irony was tragic. Sturdivant's notes explicitly targeted Christians, yet he lived with a man of the cloth who also worked at one of the very grocery stores the teen was scouting for his massacre. Despite the grandfather's efforts, federal agents executing a search warrant found a blue hammer, a wooden-handled hammer, and 2 butcher knives hidden neatly underneath Sturdivant's bed. The most horrifying evidence, however, was recovered from the trash. Investigators found a handwritten document titled New Year's Attack 2026 that served as a surgical manual for mass murder. It detailed specific vital spots to strike, such as the neck and stomach, and outlined a goal of stabbing 20 to 21 people with precision and speed. The plan was chillingly systematic. He would first attack the Burger King where he was employed, then move to a crowded grocery store, and finally wait for police to arrive so he could ambush them and die as a martyr. Despite this mountain of evidence, the system nearly faltered at the finish line. On December 29th, the FBI attempted to have Sturdivant involuntarily committed for medical attention, but a state magistrate denied the request, briefly leaving a man with a written plan for a massacre legally free to walk the streets. The FBI remained vigilant, tracking him to a local medical facility where they waited. On New Year's Eve, as Sturdivant was being released, believing he was just hours away from his martyrdom, federal agents closed in and placed him in handcuffs. Christian Sturdivant now faces a potential 20 years in federal prison for attempting to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. While the weapons are now in an evidence locker and the community of Mint Hill is safe, the case remains a haunting reminder of the enemy within. As U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson noted, the suspect was fully prepared for jihad, and innocent people were going to die. We often look for threats in distant lands, but sometimes the greatest danger is the one sleeping in the room next door with a butcher knife hidden beneath the mattress. Think of radicalization like a silent leak in a basement. The grandfather tried to patch the pipes by taking away the tools, and the FBI monitored the water levels through social media. But because the foundation, the teen's ideology, was already cracked, the pressure kept building until only a complete containment, the arrest, could prevent the entire house from being washed away.